You listen to podcasts that sound like this? Hey, welcome back to the Super OK Podcast, where our audio sounds mediocre.
Or do you prefer podcasts that sound more like this? Crisp, clear, fun, easy to listen to, and full of awesomeness? Well, then you should check out Spoiler Country, hosted exclusively over at Spoilerverse.com.
Of course.
We're back. Welcome to Spoiler Country Presents on the Spoilerverse.com network. Make My Marvel TV. And it is time for Loki episode 3. For some reason, our good buddy Casey wasn't able to make it, so you're not going to get the finger wave or the pen. Maybe
I brought my own pen. It's not glow. It doesn't glow like Casey's. Mine's grey. Actually, it's rather dull. But you know,
there we go. Everybody,
we'll keep the Casey maneuver going live. Or sometimes it's this. It's like sometimes it appears like this, just from the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
And for those listening on just audio, none of this makes sense. So go to YouTube and watch it.
Yeah. But the fun thing about that is, every time I see Casey's a good-looking guy. He's not a bad-looking guy.
He's a very good-looking bloke. Yeah.
And it's so funny because he legit looks like a fat Thor. And I love it. I love teasing him about it because I'm like, dude, he looks like sunburnt Thor. Oh, he looks like fat Thor.
Oh man, that's funny.
Long-winded way around to Loki, episode 3. What, Johnny, is your first thoughts? Was this? I can tell you off the hand, for me, this was my favorite episode so far.
I like how you ask me and then give your response first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's the way I can
put it in there. Like, hey, what do you think? But here's what I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the only way I can get my words in with you. You over-talk me all the time.
I know, I talk so much.
So anyways, when we're going into...
I like this is by far the best episode. This is by far the best episode. And I think a lot of our misgivings, or not misgivings, a lot of our holdback last time we talked about episodes 1 and 2 were kind of fixed in this episode, right?
I didn't fall asleep.
Yeah. This was an exciting episode. The whole, the one-shot scene of the apocalypse happening, even though it wasn't really a one-shot scene. There was, if you look closely, there's a couple cuts, but it's cut to look like one giant one-shot scene as they're running around. That was an amazing scene. That was phenomenal. And I think there's some theories on it, but they kind of confirmed in some way that Sylvie is Enchantress, not a Loki. But there's some theories on it that say she's still a Loki.
They could be mixing it too. They're mixing them together because two characters into one.
Yeah, because the version of Enchantress that Sylvie is from is Enchantress 2, who was created by Loki in the comics. She was a construct from Loki and then given full form somehow. I can't remember how, but I have a feeling that I hope she comes out to actually be Enchantress and not just be a Loki, and it's a different character.
Well, calling her powers enchanting.
Yeah,
when you enchant somebody, and you know what I mean. I mean, I don't know how they can get more obvious than that.
And it's her power set is different than Loki's in some way, and she's different, and she, So I think it's going to come out. She's going to be an Enchantress.
Let me ask you a question because you brought it up. When they're running around and they're fighting the guards, why the fuck do the guards care at that point?
Right.
The moon crashing into the planet. Who cares? At that point, aren't you just trying to get away or get off or get to some place that you think might be safe?
Yeah.
But you're dealing with, we got to chase these guys because they got on a train with no ticket.
Right.
But it could be, of course, what we don't know about the societies.
Yeah.
The people who are the guards. Yeah. Could be, for example, clones who are manufactured to have a minimal emotional response.
True.
You know what I mean? I mean, by the way, I know I'm doing the scriptwriter's job for them here because all you need is one line saying that, and they're not actual human beings. They're human being adjacent. That's how you explain that away.
Yeah,
and that's the only way you can really explain that away. It's like with the stormtroopers in Star Wars, right? The reason they don't show a normal human response is not really human.
But he faked being a guard to get onto the train, and she enchanted one of them. So I'm just saying, it was just weird. I was watching them going, why are these people fighting any of them? It was enough action, them trying to get through everything and having to deal with people trying to loot and trying to get to the ark or whatever they want to call, whatever they're calling that spaceship. I think they're calling it an Ark.
Yeah, they call it the Ark.
And all of that. That was enough for me. I don't know why they had to add in the guards on top.
Right. It didn't make sense. I mean, I get it. It made for good visuals, good action scene.
Yeah.
And then when Loki used his telekinesis to push the thing away.
Is he was cool. Using telekinesis? Because there's a theory he's using a time stone.
Well, if he was using the time stone, we would I read that. But if he was using the time stone that he may have stolen, you would have, as every instance of the time stone ever being used in the MCU before, we would have seen a green aura come around it. Would have been something green come out of it.
It's Loki who knows magic, and he might be able to cover it. I mean, he's able to put shit into like a pocket dimension or whatever, wherever he's hiding the stuff that he has. So I'm not saying that you're wrong. I mean,
right? He could, but why? But why would he? Why would he hide that?
If you look at it, though, it looks like everything is reversing.
Yeah.
Watch that scene. It doesn't look like he's pushing it, because he would just be pushing the object, and the dust should still be coming forward. But everything looks like it's going back. So it's interesting.
No, yeah, I get that. And it would be cool if he took the time stone, but that's a whole other a thing we didn't talk about last time. But like if the TVA has all those time stones and shit,
yeah,
what's to stop anybody from taking them into the past? Because they're not going to work in the TVA area, which is probably the quantum zone, the quantum realm, but they'll work in reality when they do time jumps, and that's so much power, untapped power sitting there. Unless it's to the thing that the TVA agents can't actually hold the time zones outside the TVA because
they're all variants,
right? But they're all
if their memory's been wiped, they might not have the capacity to think of that far. That I'll take these and go there. Or
they might not be able to. They talked about in Guardians and stuff that you can't hold the time zone unless you're like a god or have certain things like a Titan. Loki can hold one, but Mobius probably can't, right? Outside of the TVA. So that might be the reason there. But still, all those time zones in one space. At one spot, they can be taken. Obviously, they didn't think about someone's going to leave there like Loki did. Yeah. But that's a lot of power sitting there that's going to, lead to a lot of shit down the road.
This is what I liked about this episode, though.
Yeah.
There's so much going on. We have so much to discuss. Where the first two were kind of like, I don't know. The first two were good, but they weren't great, But the third one, it was like, oh shit, so much happened. Sumner, what was your thoughts, man? You're oddly quiet.
Well, I was keeping my powder dry, so I could, So as you know, I was massively underwhelmed by the first two episodes, even though they were full of performers that I love. Hiddleston for a start,
exactly.
and Wilson. But I was almost bored within the first two episodes, and was struggling to stay awake. And I thought I was going to have the same experience, because I remember watching it on Wednesday morning, which I tend to watch it. I put it on, it was like, I might as well watch it and get this out of the way. But it was a completely transformational episode for me. I really, really enjoyed it. And, suddenly it was like, when WandaVision did its initial 2 sucker punch episodes before it began to ramp up, I was able to deal with them for some reason. With Loki having these kind of mainly bureaucratic episodes at the TVA, that just wasn't doing anything for me. But I think this third episode, for all the reasons you've just mentioned, was actually very compelling, right? And I think the other thing about it is that I think it really showcased Sophia DiMartino's performance as Sylvie. I think you're right, by the way. I think Sylvie is like a mix of, she's a Loki variant and she's the Enchantress. I think she's everything at once. I think that's where they've gone with this, right? But what I loved was the tone of her performance, because what I would pick up, you guys maybe wouldn't in the same way, is the fact that she is an Italian English actor who was of a Italian stock, but she's born and raised in Nottingham in England. Oh. Nottingham being the home of Robin Hood and the Sheriff of Nottingham, of course. Sherwood Forest is just it's in the middle of the country, and she has a very regional Nottingham accent, and that's what I really enjoyed that about her performance. She's got this very middle class English accent, kind of not dissimilar to mine, except my accent's from the north of England. It's a Merseyside accent, right? She's got this very regional Nottingham accent, And I thought that was brilliant. And then I subsequently read that she deliberately decided to use her own regional accent rather than go with one of these English accents you often hear on film and TV. Yeah. But you don't often hear people talking in a Nottingham accent on television. And the fact that she was just using the accent, I thought was brilliant. But I thought the tone of her performance was great. I thought her chemistry with Hiddleston was just brilliant. Yeah, and I really enjoyed every beat of this episode. Yeah. And for the first time ever in 3 weeks of this program, when it got to the end of the third episode and the titles ran, I was like, yeah, man, I want to see the next one now. Yeah. And that's the first time in this show. Yeah. Which I felt that in every episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. And I felt it in most episodes of WandaVision, but I hadn't felt it in Loki till now. But I really enjoyed it. Yeah. Really enjoyed everything about it.
Let's look at that. We're graced with Casey Allen.
Our Thor.
There he is.
Thor,
there he is.
Yeah.
The man Kenrick Regan described only 10, 15 minutes ago as extremely good looking.
Yeah,
and I think what Casey's got more than anything else, he's got great facial hair, right? But he's got great hair. You know, he's got a great head full of hair.
Locks coming down.
Hold on, man. I wish my hair was that thick. I really do.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
So how are you guys doing?
A little gray, dude. The hair is a whole.
It might be the sunlight. If it goes gray, though, I don't care. I'm down with it.
Yeah.
Hey, much better that it goes gray than it falls out. That's exactly. My advice.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So, Casey, we're just talking about our thoughts on episode 3, and so now it's your turn because we all gone.
So, someone at work the other day asked me about, forget the variant, her name, why she was missing a horn, and the only thing I could come up with was that.
What a time to drop!
Wow, what a great pause!
I know.
I mean, you know, you couldn't have planned that any better, could you? Do you know what I mean?
Now.
I mean, that is the no wonder this guy writes comics. That is the art of suspense right there. Do you know what I mean?
We got
Voodoo Child is a comic book about.
Exactly.
That's fucking brilliant. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Loki episode 3. This has been Make My Marvel TV. I'm Andrew Sumner. This is Ken Reed. This is John Horsley. This is the effigy of Casey Allen. We'll see you next week. There he's back again. Yay! Hang on. Wait a minute. You're on mute.
Gotta get your pen up, man. Get the pen. We all brought pens for you. He pauses again.
Joke, and it immediately steps on my punchline. So
I think that's because Zoom has good taste and could see the fucking gag coming and thought, we just can't allow this to happen. You know what I mean? The universe has spoken. But yeah, in the meantime, your hair has gone back to being brown, Casey. So
awesome.
It's not grey anymore. Yeah.
So yeah. I've really enjoyed it. It's very much like a Doctor Who type aesthetic for the show. My wife actually asked me if it was Doctor Who that I was watching. Like, I haven't watched that.
Either one of those could be great.
Well, I've got to say that's a bit depressing. I mean, you're making me really?
Really?
Doctor Who?
But yeah, I've enjoyed it so far.
That's resounding.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Loki episode 3, Make My Marvel TV. I'm Andrew Sumner. This is Kenneth Regan. This is John Horsley. This is Casey Allen. Thanks for your insights, mate. That was fascinating. You know what I mean? Absolutely brilliant.
That's how you keep an audience captivated right there.
Next week, we'll be back with some more insights, such as, yes, I enjoyed this one too. So we'll see you there. Join us here, same time, same Make My Marvel channel.
Same Loki channel, same Loki time.
I enjoyed the character building aspects, but I'm still wondering where it's going.
Yeah.
Now, Casey's doing a bit of what I call the Steve McQueen now. He's doing a bit of visual business when he's like buying time. He doesn't have the lines, but this is a classic Steve McQueen thing. He would stay busy in every shot. So what Casey's done is he's like put the hat on. just as a distractionary maneuver. You go, fucking that Casey Allen's an interesting cat, isn't he? But he just put that fucking hat on right in the middle of the show.
Works for him, man.
He doesn't give a fuck, man.
Matt, I'm actually in the courtyard of my work. I'm on my coffee break, and that's why I have the book logo behind me. But yeah, it's really a nice courtyard, actually.
You just did the Matrix to show that. You just totally did like the whole Matrix move to show that. And awesome. He's got his coffee. He's ready to go.
Yeah, he's good to go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm kind of hoping for, though? What I hope they don't go there is I'm hoping that Sylvie and Loki have just a friendship that doesn't go into this weird.
I don't think we have to
be in love, but we have to, you know what I mean? There's this weird sexual tension between them because you get that in every single thing that you watch, and it's kind of nice to see something that they don't need to do that.
I completely agree. I don't think they'll be that boring as to do that. Also, I really like the fact that they totally referenced Loki's bisexuality. I was
just going to bring that up.
Yeah.
Did
that
you
was
guys,
very cool. I like that.
Did y'all talk about the connection with the comics with Sylvie? There was like
and Thunder tried to bring it up. He said, "There's a connection with the comics that we got." I said, "No."
Yeah, they stopped me. Said that's Casey Allen's jam.
Casey
said we've got to get Casey in on that.
So go, Casey.
Well, it's been a while, but from what I recall, Sylvie is based off of a character that was actually like created. So she's not a real person. She's actually like a manifestation of some sort.
Yep, from Loki.
Yeah. So that opens up the door to even more like. She might not be a variant at all. So what are we looking at here?
We're looking at Enchantress number 2.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be
part of what, Johnny?
The Young Avengers.
The Young Avengers.
I was getting a bit worried we weren't going to mention the Young Avengers for a minute.
This now brings up, this is the 5th Young Avenger we've now run into, which is Wiccan, Speed, Patriot, Falcon, and now
literally
that's 5.
One of my least favorite aspects of the entire Marvel universe, the Young Avengers. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
And I thought for one second, we're gonna get away with it. We're not gonna mention it. And it's like, no, here we go.
Time, man.
We're back in the Young Avengers territory.
But it's true. Yeah. It is weird that we have this is the 5th one that they've introduced in the last, in all these series.
It's definitely coming. 1,000%.
I mean, they at this point when they literally introduced in background characters. Now this is the main character of a show. 5 characters from a team. I mean, obviously they're going. If they introduce Hulkling soon, then we know it's true, right? And like, I mean, they probably will, right? They probably will introduce Hulkling in one of the shows.
Hulkling.
They'll have to have.
He was that.
But he was like some like alien.
Who was?
Or something. Hulkling. Yeah. He's not human, right?
No, he's not human.
I don't even think they've introduced his people yet. So that'll be interesting. They might have. If they do, it'll be a complete redo of his background, which is fine.
Different. It's going to be different because Hulkling is technically a child of Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel and the Emperor's daughter of the the Skrulls, Princess Anel. So they're going to change that, I'm sure. But Hulkling is, Hulkling and I think is it Wiccan have a relationship in the comics, or one of the 2 brothers have a relationship with the comics. But I'm sure they'll introduce him or some other Avengers in the next show or something. But they're obviously moving towards it because if they're not moving towards it, then they're introducing a lot of characters in it just for fun, which would be cool too either way. But I think it's been fun to see who they're going to introduce next.
What's going on, everyone? Are you still looking for that perfect one-stop shop for all things pop culture? That one place where you can hear hot takes about superheroes, Star Wars, video games, and more? Well, fear not. Bridging to Geekdoms is the place for you. A podcast that focuses on the current rumors, scoops, and controversies within the pop culture world. Hosted exclusively on the Spoilerverse Network, you can find us on any one of your favorite podcatching apps, YouTube, and at spoilerverse.com. So don't miss out on the excitement. Find us and subscribe now.
The thing, getting back into Loki's episode 3, you find out that The Loki variant's name is Sylvie, who we've discussed as Enchantress 2.
Actually, hold on, pause. They actually told us that last episode 2.
Did they really?
It did. If you pay attention on the paperwork that Loki's going through, there's a wrap sheet for that variant, and on it for name it says Sylvie Loof, whatever the fuck Loki's last name is. On that paper. So they actually teased it in episode 2, but they didn't say it out loud in episode 3.
Okay, well, they say it out loud in episode 3. My mediocre brain learned it in episode 3. So it's interesting, and we're getting in now. They're stuck on this planet. I can't remember the name of the planet. It's I don't know. It's Lemon.
Oh yeah. It was a good name actually. Yeah.
And they're in the future. It's the year 2077. The ark has just blown up, and we're going to get into episode 4.
Lamentus is the name of it.
Lamentus 1, right?
Lamentus 1. There you go.
Lamentus 1. I'm curious. I kind of think Loki still has the time dial thing, and it's fine.
Yeah.
I think he showed it to her.
Oh, I think that's bullshit that it's broken. I think that's absolutely right.
And I think
that's going to be the reveal, isn't it? He's going to do one of his Loki kind of like, he's going to pull it just at that moment. Yeah. Oh, that's definitely an enchantment. That's a total scam.
Oh, wait. Or we're going to get the fact that he just pushed that building back up. It is the time. It is the time stone. And he's going to dial back time and have the arc come back together. Maybe,
yeah. It's gonna be one of those two. I also got to say, I bitched last episode, but they're not using enough magic, right? And this episode kind of made up for that. There's good use of magic in this episode. I appreciate that.
Or Owen's going to save them. Mobius.
You think so?
Well, because he knows that they're going to apocalypse events.
Right.
So he might already know, he's in. And the fact that they've been fighting all of these guards, it's obviously been reported to somewhere.
But no, it won't be, because they said in the episode that apocalyptic events, when they alter the timeline, don't show up to the TVA. They don't if it's within a certain range of the apocalypse happening. The TVA does not get any notice. That's what happened when they went to Pompeii. They're testing it, so the TVA would not be notified.
Interesting.
Yeah, but he knows. So he knows where to look. I mean, they went to different places, so he might be going, okay, we got to check this one. Okay, here's another one. Okay, finds them and says and yanks them in a time door.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a possibility. But yeah.
I have got another question, guys, which got nothing to do with what was in this episode.
Right? Go for it.
So, an actor that I know has been cast in this show, right, is Richard E. Grant, right? Now, first off, do you know who that actor is? Do you know who I'm talking about? Let's say Richard
off
E.
the top
Grant.
of my head.
He's the star of With Nail and I. Have you ever seen that film?
I have not.
Oh, it's a classic. Oh God, guys. Okay, when we do our like Sumner movie season, that's going to be, if you haven't seen With Nail and I, that's going to be one of the films. But if you look him up, Richard E. Grant, you'll recognize him. He's been in tons of films as character actor. Yeah,
that sounds familiar.
He has. I'm looking up right now.
But he's got a tremendously specific kind of, he can do this kind of sneering British thing really, really well.
Oh, I know exactly.
He was General Pride in Star Wars.
That's him. Yeah, that's him. Yeah. He's really good at playing monsters. He's really good at playing people who are funny and amiable and whatnot as well. My question is, who is he being cast as? Because I think he would make a brilliant Mephisto.
Yes, and he shows up next episode.
He's got that smile.
He's in the next 3 episodes.
His whole nose, his mouth is a little oversized, which gives him that big full grin. Oh, yeah. You know what he kind of reminds me of? He kind of reminds me of, what is his name? Guy, he was in Game of Thrones, and he plays the dad of the, oh my God, what was his name? You'll know exactly what I'm talking about, Sumner, when I say his name.
I don't know. I never watched Game of Thrones, so
that's okay. I didn't ask you if you watched it. I just said this guy was in Game of Thrones.
Well,
every time you bring up Game of Thrones, Johnny has to say, "I never watched it." No.
Fuck you, Kenrick. This is relevant. You're saying this character from the show, and I'm like, I'm not gonna know who the fuck that is. I didn't watch the fucking show, so it's relevant. So go fuck yourself.
Welcome to episode 3 of the Loki Show. Make My Marvel TV, subtitled "Fuck You, Kenrick."
I like it.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap up. So, Loki episode 4 this Wednesday. Everybody, check it out. I think we've already discussed what we think is going to happen.
Yeah,
of them getting out.
I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward.
I am now looking forward to it too. Yeah, I agree.
The one thing I like about this series is because of what they're doing, you have no idea what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
Which is what the last two shows did to us as well. Falcon Winter Soldier was the same way, and so was one of it. We had no idea what was going to happen the next week, which was awesome.
Yeah, I felt like we kind of had some ideas. Like we had more of a thought of what might happen, even though we were wrong every single time.
Right.
Yeah.
I just feel like this one is not even worth trying to predict because I don't think.
Right.
And there has been a conspicuous step change, I think, in the quality of the show.
Yeah.
You know, I think episode 3 was genuinely interesting. You know.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're a fan of talking about great TV, you know, if you want a tip about a great TV show that has just returned, also, which is nothing like Loki but is brilliant, is the final season of Bosch has just started on Amazon.
Oh, nice! Bosch is great.
It's amazing. It's excellent. It's really good.
Nice.
Johnny, send us out, buddy.
Bye.
For Make My Marvel team, Spoiler Country, and the Spoilerverse, my name is Kenner Cregan. That, I think he's below me or he's somewhere. Somewhere. That's Johnny. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Take care, everyone. Make My Marvel TV. Get it done.
Spaghetti. And we're back.
That's right. We are back. Back in the saddle again. Well, I hope you guys really, really enjoyed that as much as we did making it for you. And if you liked what you heard and you want to hear more, you got to go check out spoilerverse.com, because at spoilerverse.com, we have a plethora, amazing directors and artists of all walks of life, and editors and writers. And oh my God, are you a lover of comic books like we are? Then there's so many amazing people from the comic book world over at spoilerverse.com, and I highly implore you to go there and check it out.
Yeah, and while you're there, you can check out all the other podcasts on our network, like Originally Geekdoms and Funny Book Forensics and Haphazard Adventures and Nerds from the Crypt and so many more.
Misery
We put out
Point Radio.
episodes all the time. Go check all of them out, and check out all of the reviews and previews and articles we have going up every single day for you, every day on spoilerverse.com for you to check out and to read and to love and to like and to comment. We have a store link. If you want to help support the site, you can do it two ways. One, go to our Patreon, which is patreon.com/spoilercountry, or go to our store link in the middle of the site there and get a t-shirt, a face mask, a hoodie, something, look fly as hell, and help support the site when you do that, because we get $1 or $2. And, you know, maybe you want to talk to us. If you do, you can do it obviously on all the socials, but if you go to scpod.us/discord, you can join our public Discord server and come chat with us all day long.
I couldn't say it better myself, dude.
There you go.
You just mouthed out a ton of information at once, and really, I hope you guys enjoy what you're hearing, because we're working our butts off to bring it to you.
We are.
I guess there's only one left thing. Yeah, I'm gonna go with it. There's only one left thing left to do.
What's that?
In oceans of podcasts,
We are Cthulhu.
as Cthulhu compels you to
Spaghetti. Open the mind.
and read more.
Spaghetti.
Monsters are everywhere. They always have been. They lurk, hidden in every shadow. Behind every dark thought, they are probably in your closet, possessing your friends. And they're almost certainly creeping behind you now. They are most often undetectable. And when they're not, it's too late. Throughout time, these monsters have feasted on society, both physically and metaphysically. The chaos they bring fuels a great dark spirit that seeks to end the world with pain and torment. The Ainz are our only hope. The Ainz family has been cursed since before recorded history to detect the presence of these monsters. It is their bound duty to stop these creatures from destroying humanity through any means necessary, be it by sword, spell, or other. Though the Ainz can feel when the creatures are in close proximity, the monsters themselves are also drawn toward the family. But not everything is as it seems. And although the war between the monsters and the Ainz has waged for centuries, the black and white battle lines have grayed over the years. Not all monsters may be considered evil. Not all Ainz are as righteous as one would think. These are the tales of the Ainz family. Visit AinzAnthology.com to find out more.